I just wanted to welcome everyone who's joining us on Zoom and also those who are watching on Facebook or watching later. We're really glad that you're here and able to hear about what's going on in the Skyway-West Hill community. And before we get into the meat of the agenda, I just wanted to share a few updates from the West Hill Community Association. And so first I wanted to recognize Beth Hintz, who is an outgoing board member. She served for 4 years on our West Hill board, and we really appreciate her time and contributions. And she will still be a committee member, but we just wanted to recognize her here. And then I also wanted to share that we have 2 new board members. We have Terrence Williams, who is the new owner of the Skyway Laundromat. And we have Rahul Jathar, who works for Molina Healthcare and is a Bryn Mawr resident. So I just wanted to say that we're super excited to have them as part of the West Hill Community Association. As you may know, we're a working board. We do what we can with the time that we have. Okay, another update from West Hill. Pretty exciting, but we are working on a community mural project. And if you received the West Hill email that was sent out yesterday, you may have seen information about this, but we're looking to compensate a local artist to participate in that project and help to create this vision. So if you or anyone you know who's local in and around Skyway who has experience with outdoor murals, please use the form on mywesthill.org to share your contact info and a work sample, and we'd love to get in touch with you. Okay, that was announcement number 1. Announcement number 2 for West Hill Community Association is that on Saturday, April 29th, from 9 a.m. to noon will be the quarterly West Hill Action Mob King County Park Stewardship event to help clean up Skyway Park. We'll be removing trash and weeds from our environmentally sensitive wetlands, and we hope you can join us. This is an important area for the young Chinook salmon as they make their way into Lake Washington through Taylor Creek and Dead Horse Canyon. So it's also a great chance to see the upgrades that have just been completed at Skyway Park and still to come. All right. I will turn it over now and we'll start our community report section of the agenda. So let's begin. I believe King County Local Services, Bong, would you like to share anything, or would you like to, I know that DLS is also sharing a heating and cooling program. So I didn't know, Bong, if you had other updates for us.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm glad to be here. Let's see. No, I don't have any updates except for one that Devin mentioned about what is this? The informational signs, and we're working on it, and we just don't know when our crew are able to come out there. And staff will be here. I know John is going to be here, and as well as Nicole, who's going to be talking about what is that? Solar paneling. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you.
Thanks, Bong.
All right.
Okay, so we'll hear more from KCDLS. Let's move to Cynthia, Skyway Water Sewer.
All right, thanks, Ben. I'll be brief tonight since it's so beautiful outside. Folks might want to get out and enjoy a little bit of sunshine, but we're keeping busy here. Financial statements and audit reports. We will be applying for some additional Public Works Trust Fund loan money for construction in the new cycle that will open, I believe it's in May. And they are really favorable rates for construction that needs to be done, anywhere between 0.5% and 1.3%. But most exciting is we have a new customer web portal. So folks should have seen a brief announcement in their last newsletter in March And then there was a special notice sent out a couple of weeks ago with information. And there's information on our website, and instructions will be in our newsletter that comes out about May 10th. So we really encourage folks to read that information, register for our portal, and you can manage your water and sewer account. You can sign up for automatic payments. You can choose to get your bill electronically rather than a paper version. And you have options for communication, email, text messaging. Do you want to get a message when you have high consumption? A lot of options. So that's kind of our new rollout for this year, and it's been a heavy lift. We've had the current billing system program for roughly 20 years. So we're excited about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. That is exciting. Any questions that have come in for Cynthia? Okay, we'll circle back if anything comes up.
Finn, I'll add one more thing. We will be entering into a contract with King County, Seattle Public Health, to construct a project that will extend our sewer main up on the northeast side of Renton Avenue, get a few people off of septic systems, and open up opportunities for people north of Renton Avenue in the area northeast of the post office to get off of septic and onto district sewer if they choose.
Thank you for that information. Okay. Let's move on to Chief Hicks.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Eric Hicks. I'm the Fire Chief of King County Fire District 20 here in Skyway. I just want to report on a few things. We've had a few fires in our district here since the first of the year. We had a fire at Creston Point on February 15th. The fire started in exterior and spread via the vinyl siding up to the second floor. There were no injuries. The fire didn't make its way inside of an apartment unit, and it was controlled by the sprinkler system. The King County fire investigator determined that the fire was intentionally set, and so they are working on that. We had another fire at an abandoned house on the 11600 block of Renton Avenue South on March 24th. This was an abandoned house right off of Renton Avenue in that green space area or wetlands right off of Renton Avenue. We had been there 3 times over the last 3 to 4 years, and this time the fire completely burned the structure down, so I don't think we'll be going back for any fires there anytime soon. We also had a fire at the 8700 block of 117th Street on April 7th. The fire started in the ceiling fan in the bathroom and spread to the attic area. Other things to announce, I'm happy to announce with the support of the community and Board of Commissioners, we have received our new fire engine. It's currently in the shop getting decals and equipment put on it. We are really excited about this. Anytime a fire department receives a new fire engine, it's a 20 to 30 year investment. So this engine will be serving the community for at least 20 years. Our 2 current fire engines were purchased in 2004, and those will be moved to more of a reserve capacity for probably the next 5 to 6 years until they hit the 30-year mark, and then they will be surplus. Also happy to report that our firefighters participated in a 32nd annual LLS firefighter stair climb. They raised over $7,400. The climb consists of approximately 69 floors and calculates to about 1,356 steps to reach the sky view. Very happy with that team. They participate every year, and we really support that cause. Firefighters from all over the world come to Seattle to participate in the firefighter stair climb. We have our health and safety fair coming up Saturday, August 19th, along with partnering up with all our community partners in Skyway. This year, we will also be celebrating our 80-year anniversary in service. The district was established in 1943, and so we'll have cake and punch and other goodies and memorabilia, tour of the fire station, tour of the rigs, and really celebrate our accomplishments over 80 years of being a fire district. I also want to give some information if you know anyone that's interested in being a firefighter or has thought about it or is currently testing. The King County Fire Chiefs Association will be putting on our 4th semi-annual diversity and recruitment workshop on May 6th in Sammamish. We do this twice a year. The last workshop was in December of 2022 in Renton at Renton Technical College. So every 6 months, we try to have it north and south. I will put the link to the registration page in the chat for everyone. So you can, if you want to attend yourself or if you know someone, you can send that link to. It's open to everyone at least 16 years of age. We really encourage members of the BIPOC community, women, bilingual adults, the LGBTQIA plus to attend. And I will take some questions at the end of my report. Any questions for me?
Thank you, Chief Hicks, for all that information, and what an accomplishment, 80 years as a fire station here in Skyway. We will circle back if anything comes in, but right now I'm not seeing any questions, so thank you.
Okay. Well, I definitely want to thank the community for the support, and we'll keep moving forward as a department.
Awesome. Okay, moving along to the King County Sheriff's Office. Detective Norris.
Hi to everyone. If you guys didn't get a chance to meet me, I'm Detective Norris, the storefront detective here in Skyway. We first off want to start off by saying thanks to everyone who came out. We did the coffee with a cop thing earlier this month. That was pretty big deal. We had a lot of people that came out, a lot of interaction between us and the community. So that's always great. At some point we will probably be getting with Chief Hicks and trying to do one for all first responders. So look out for that. Stats wise, nothing crazy. Stats are pretty much on par with what they were last year. The only thing that's having a significant increase is the Part 1 crimes, and that's mainly due to the stolen and recovered vehicles. So just in the last month alone, we recovered a little over 20 stolen vehicles, and it's been an ongoing issue for the last few months, really, ever since the whole Kia Hyundai craze went into effect and everyone started stealing everything. We didn't have, Vicky wanted me to tell you guys she's having a car seat installation thing event, and that is May 25th, and that will be at the fire station, I believe. She'll be sending out flyers. You guys know she gets very excited about stuff like that. We will keep you posted on any other events that we have coming up. We also will be doing a newsletter, trying to go to something monthly so that we can at least update you guys on what's going on, even when we don't have the meetings. So we're developing that template now and look for that to come out within the next couple weeks. So outside of that, if you guys have any events or anything that you want us at, if you're having any issues that you want us to try to help you with or tackle, I will leave my info in the chat as always, and feel free to reach out. We're trying to help solve any issues that you guys are having.
Thank you, Detective Norris. Okay, so we'll see if any questions come in, but otherwise we'll keep moving along in our agenda. Is Miss Ayana Brown on the call? Okay, I will make an announcement for Olajuwon's hands. Let me just pull up the correct information. So on April 29th, from noon to 7 p.m., they are hosting the Olajuwon's Hands Community Family Reunion. I've been to this in the past. It's wonderful. It's at the Skyway Grocery Outlet Community Stage. It features free music, or sorry, free food, giveaways, music, and a resource fair. So that is coming up for Olajuwon's hands, and hope to see a lot of community out there. And if Miss Ayana Brown comes on, she can make a second announcement. But I just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of that coming up. And I see we've got Randy Matheson. Do you have any information to share with us?
Hey, yeah, thanks. I'm Randy Matheson, Executive Director, Community Relations in your school district, the Renton School District. Before I give my report, I'd like to invite folks who have things going on in the community that I can help share with our parents and families to send that to me. Flyers for kid seat installations or cleanups, those kinds of things. I can get those right to the families and maybe get some student involvement in some of those things. You can send it to community.relations@rentonschools.us. We just had, Renton Schools just had our spring break last week, but not everybody was on vacation. A lot of our students were involved in many different things. We've got coaches at Renton High School who are doing just a bang up job helping students connect their enthusiasm for sports to higher education and their future. And so over the break, the coaches took a bunch of students on tours to colleges in Oregon and Washington, here in Washington State. We also had a contingent of about 40 students, high school students district-wide, who went to Georgia to tour HBCUs to get a feel for what it would be like to go to a historically Black college or university out of state. So lots of great stuff happening in high schools, including a couple of our high school students at Renton High just got sort of contracts, if you will, to go right into Boeing after high school through our aerospace engineering classes that we have at all of our high schools. We have these classes set up with Boeing. Students get hands-on training for real-world work. And some of them have done so well. They've been interviewed and they get jobs immediately after leaving high school. There's been about 120 students across the state last year that actually got these direct to job offers right out of high school. So great stuff happening at our high schools, specifically Renton High School. At some of our other schools here on the West Hill, thanks to voter support and school construction measures, we're doing some really good work upgrading our schools, renovating them, keeping them, improving them not only for students and staff, but also for the community. Keeping our buildings in good condition and keeping our grounds in good condition helps improve property values and quality of life for families who live around our schools. We're doing some work right now to renovate front entrances to our schools to make them more safe. So we keep our schools locked through the day except for one door at the front entrance. And we're putting in new vestibules, safety vestibules at our schools. So when you walk into the front door, there's a secondary door that you have to be buzzed through. And front office folks can actually get an eyes on to find out who's coming into the building, who's exiting, those kinds of things. Those are the kind of improvements we're doing at some of our elementary schools. And lastly, at Dimmitt Middle School next year, there'll be a new principal. One of our principals currently in our elementary school at Hazelwood in the north end of our district has taken the position to be Dimmitt Middle School's new principal next year. She's got a lot of really great experience in working in various environments throughout the United States in various cities. And she brings a lot of really good experience and a wealth of knowledge to Dimmitt, and we'll probably see some great changes happening at that middle school. And that's my update.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate all that information about what's going on in the schools here in Skyway-West Hill. Okay, so next I'd like to invite Chad from Skyway VFW Post to share an update.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for inviting me and letting me be on here today. Skyway VFW has been assisting veterans in the community for 76 years. Last May, we just had our 75th anniversary. We focus on 6 community youth-oriented events each year. Number 1 is our youth essay, Patriot Pen and Voice of Democracy programs, where the local youth write essays and compete for scholarships at the local, district, state, and national level, with the top prize being for the Voice of Democracy at national. They just raised it from $30,000 to $35,000 this year. So high school students 9 through 12, that's what they compete for. And then Patriot Pen is for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And our youth essay, our state is the only state that has this program, and it's for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. So they compete all the way up to the state level. Second, we've had a long-term partnership with King County Fire District 20 and enjoy the partnership of doing events with them and assisting them with their safety fair in the summer. Number 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all kind of grouped together. There are 4 youth events that we do each year at our VFW post for our membership and the community. Coming up in August will be our end of summer, used to be end of summer picnic. Now it's, we still have kind of a hot dog deal inside. And then we have games, arts and crafts, activities, and food, and we give out school supplies. That's in August. There'll be flyers coming out for that. Then around Christmas time, we have our kids' Santa party, visit with Santa and pictures, arts and crafts, cookie decorating, and reindeer games. Then we run into our annual kids Halloween party, which now we've added the trunk or treat to it, and that's worked out very well. Everyone loves going through the trunks outside the VFW and doing the trunk or treating, and then coming inside for the festivities inside. Last year we had between 260 and 300 kids come through, depending on, some of them went through twice, of course. Inside we had arts and crafts, a monster cakewalk. We got about 90 or 70, I think 70 to 75 cakes donated. So it was a lot of cake walking to give out those cakes, but we're lucky we had them because we had such a huge turnout for kids this year. So we're excited about that. And we just completed our annual kids Easter party and egg hunt. We did hula hooping and some bunny dancing on the floor. They had cookie decorating. We did an Easter egg hunt, and this year we added putting tickets in there. And then like Chuck E. Cheese, they got to take the tickets down to another table full of toys, and they could trade their tickets in for toys. We had pictures with the Easter Bunny, and then a lot of arts and crafts. And I want to thank Vicki from the Sheriff's Department. She had a safety booth and helped out with the event tremendously, as well as our Coast Guard auxiliary flotilla. They had 4 or 5 people there that helped with this. So it was great having community partnership there for that. And I want to thank WHCA for pushing out the event, and also for the group, I don't know their name, but the food bank Saturday morning crew, they helped pass out flyers that morning to spread the word about the Easter event too. Any Skyway community group that would like to participate, we always welcome support, especially for our kids events. And our main mission is assisting veterans and their families while striving to better the community. If anybody has any questions, that's pretty much my report, which will be a lot shorter next time, but that's just kind of an overview since we haven't been on here for a little while, and try to get everybody up to speed about who we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Yeah, we appreciate all the things you're doing for the community, and look forward to having you back and hearing more regular updates. Okay, so next we've got the Skyway Library, and we have Melissa who will be presenting an update for the library.
Good evening, and thank you for inviting us to this lovely meeting. I am Melissa Mather. I am the relatively new teen and adult librarian here at Skyway. I'll start out by saying if you have any program ideas, call up the library, ask for me, and I'll find the expert and we'll do a program about it. I'm putting something in the chat that's just a link that tells you kind of everything that we're doing every day here at the Skyway Library. Things like we have tutors come every Tuesday and Wednesday. So some of them are just things that we always do. Family story time. play and learn. Right now we have a series for K through 12, which is our spring into art and STEM. And so we do everything from board games to working with robots to salt watercolors. So that series will continue until the 23rd of May. And then if you'd please put on your calendars that we're having a summer reading kickoff, and that is Wednesday, June 28th. We're going to have 2 alumni from the Northwest Tap Connection, which some of you may be familiar with, is in Rainier Beach. So that's going to kick off our summer reading program. And then the following Wednesdays, not including the day, the July 4th weekend, we're going to have other programs, like we're going to have a Funko play testing event. We're going to do a paper event, and then we're going to do some pixel art. So that's just kind of some of the things that we're doing this summer. And as I say, if you have any ideas of programs you'd like me to bring to the community, I am happy to do that. So thanks again.
Thank you, Melissa, for sharing those updates. And Malcolm is also on the call, who also works at Skyway Library, but I'm not calling you out, Malcolm. You don't have to say anything. All right, so now that rounds out our community reports, but I just wanted to check if there was anyone else here on Zoom who would like to share a quick 3 to 5 minute community update before we move into our 2 main presentations. Oh, I do see that there is a question for Cynthia, Skyway Water Sewer. Can you speak to how we can apply for public funds for sewer installation in our local neighborhoods? That was from Malik Baz.
Is that from Malik or from Greg? Oh, okay, I see. And Malik and I have spoken several times. Good to see you tonight, Malik. We are just in the process of, as I mentioned, signing a contract with King County for funds to transition people from septic to public sewer. There are different state funds that are available, but typically there has to be a environmental or water quality crisis. King County has done a study and determined that there are areas in Southeast Skyway and Northwest Renton that are questionable in terms of the impact that septic systems are having on the neighborhood. Again, I don't want to, I believe I reported on this at the last quarterly meeting. I don't want to speak out in prematurely, but it's our sense that there may be additional funds from King County in the future to provide septic conversion to public sewer. So, and I've talked to Malik about coming to this group and advocating for that. And we're limited on what we can do with district funds because those funds are, you know, all paid for by customer rates, and we can't use customer rates to pay for new customers to connect.
Thank you for that information. Yeah, and keep asking that question, Malik. We'll keep putting it forward.
So we have
okay,
so if I could add one thing, Finn, we have been in discussions, just getting started with the city of Renton to partner on a project because we border up with them and they have a lot of septic in that, and as I said, in our southeast corner and their northwest corner. So that would be another potential opportunity. And oftentimes, if you're able to partner with someone, you're more successful in getting monies to do what you want to.
Great, thank you. Okay, so next up we have our first main presentation. It's the Energize Heating and Cooling Program from the King County Department of Local Services. And Nicole Sanders is really piloting this program, but she is out. So we have Medha, Kumar, who I'll turn it over to.
Hi, thank you so much. Nice to meet everybody. My name is Medha. Let me share my presentation. I know if you guys can see this. That look okay?
Looks great.
Yes.
Awesome. Yay. Thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate it on a busy afternoon, or I guess evening. All right, so this program is called Energize. It's from the King County, and a lot of our focus is going to be in unincorporated Skyway. And so this is a big partnership between King County as well as many nonprofit organizations such as Spark Northwest, ECOS, and the Emerald City Collaborative. And we're really happy to have all of these partners be supporting this program. So you might be wondering, what is the cool program? Well, we need to know. The goal of this program is to provide efficient electric heating and cooling to 150 homes in Skyway and White Center. So we're not replacing the heating and cooling systems. This is more of a supplemental program. The funding sources of this program is from the King County, as well as Washington State University's SEEP program, or Community Energy and Efficiency Program. And so what the program covers is ductless and ducted heat pumps. So those are two different types of heat pumps. You might have also been heard of them as a mini split heat pump or a central heat pump. Those are also different words that are used to describe the same technology. As well as some electrical panel upgrades in order to have the heat pumps as well. And these are really cool technologies because they're run on electricity. So a lot of the heating in homes, some of it may come from fossil fuels like oil, natural gas, sometimes even propane. So this is shifting to a much more efficient technology that also provides cooling for homes, which is really awesome considering that we are having all of these hot summers and heat waves, and we just want folks to be more comfortable in their homes. And so 100% of costs would be covered for households below this 80% of area median income. So all the costs for this program will be covered. And so you can get like basically an air conditioning kind of unit for free, which is just wonderful. And if you're between that 81 to 120% area median income, we'd be able to cover 80% of the cost, but then that remaining 20% would be on you. And I think the cap for that is up to $2,500 for the resident. And so to be eligible for the program, you need to be a resident in unincorporated portions of Skyway, and you can check out our map. I can show the map really quick. Here we go. So this is the Energize website. If you go over to this website, I can throw it in the chat as well, hopefully. I'll add it in the chat after I'm done presenting. But this is the website for the program. And this kind of shows the different housing sizes and the income ceilings that you would need to be having. And so when you go to the map here, if we zoom in over to Skyway, you can add your address at the top here to see if you would qualify. So if you're within this boundary, your home is within this area, you would definitely be able to qualify for the program. So just make sure to check, put your address in this website, make sure you can qualify to have heating and cooling systems in your home. Okay, get back to the presentation. Awesome. And so usually it's really difficult to get this kind of ductless heat pump in your home. You would have to research all of the different cooling options, maybe contact your utility, and they would find local HVAC contractors, and you would have to decide between multiple bids from all of these HVAC contractors. You might have to go to a financial institution to see how to pay for what can be a pretty big expense. And then you would ultimately choose an HVAC contractor. You'd complete quite a bit of paperwork to be able to do that as well. And then after you finalize the financing, then you would install your heat pump. And this is just a lot. So we want to make that a lot easier. The new process is you can attend a workshop. There are 4 workshops coming up for any resident in Skyway and White Center to attend. We would receive bids from selected contractors. So they would go through the county, and there's actually a selection committee of residents that would say, okay, this is the contractor we would like to go with. And you would complete a program application from your household. And you might also be able to get some weatherization of your home as well. So if you want to insulate your home, there needs to be some air sealing to make sure, you know, the cool air stays inside, right? Like that's also really important. You might be able to pursue that with some of our partner organizations as well. And then you would install a heat pump, and it would be so awesome because now you have cooling and heating, and it's super energy efficient. A lot of the other program features are as a part of our contractor selection process. We've really tried to make sure that women and minority-owned businesses, have a place to submit their contracts so we can help support those businesses. Also, it tends to be pretty difficult for renters to install these kinds of major upgrades to their homes. So this program also covers people that rent their home as well. And there's also that weatherization component, right? Keeping the hot air in and the cold air in can be really, really important when you're trying to reduce energy costs. And there's also concurrent programs with multiple different organizations. Puget Sound Energy is one of them, as well as a workforce development component where there's, youth that are trying to get into installing HVAC technology, and they get an opportunity to learn about this trade and better their skills. So there's a lot of really cool aspects of the program. And so this is kind of the general timeline. So right now we have HVAC contractors that are submitting their proposals to the King County. And guess what? Everybody in this audience is most likely eligible to be part of the selection committee. And that's something we would definitely like everybody's input on that. I can actually share some information while we're on that. So the description of the being on the selection committee is about 15 hours of work. I guess that's kind of, I would say, the higher end of that for sure. It probably won't be this much, but we have to make sure we include everything. So there's an hour to an hour and a half kickoff meeting, and about 8 hours of work because we're expecting about 8 different contractors to submit their bids. So we're kind of estimating that it would take an hour to review each application, a meeting for everybody on this committee to get together and kind of decide which contractor to go for, and then an hour to kind of have an interview process, as well as the actual interviews themselves. And you do not need to be an HVAC expert to be on this committee. You don't need to know what any of this means. This is for residents to decide who's going to be coming into homes in Skyway and White Center. And there will be a lot of technical support for anything that is confusing or you need help to understand. And there's also a $450 stipend being offered to anybody who would like to participate in this. And we would really definitely love anybody's input on this selection committee. Does anybody think they might be interested in that right off the bat?
Medha, I think we can definitely share this information out so that, you know, we can help spread the word to get folks.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know this is coming up pretty soon. I think they're gonna start with this like in I think around a week. So I just want to make sure if anybody's really interested on the call, definitely let me know. And we can email you some more information as well. Just because this is such a timely thing.
And who should folks reach out to if they are interested?
Absolutely. Please reach out to Nicole Sanders at kingcounty.gov. So her email is Nick, so NIC Sanders at kingcounty.gov. And she would be more than happy to have anybody on this committee. And it should be a really cool opportunity, I think. But yeah, definitely reach out to her. And okay, let me get back to the timeline because that is also pretty important to understand. So like I mentioned that HVAC contractor selection process that begins in April. So we're already kind of starting to do some of these things. And we'll be reaching out to multiple community groups around May. And having that HVAC contractor orientation, as well as having more like the program will be ready to go, right? And so we're having a bunch of workshops. The first one is in June, and then there's one in July, August, and September. That's the final workshop. That is the time for anybody in the community to sign up, to apply, to ask any questions that they have about the program. And everybody that enrolls will have what is called case management. So somebody will be there to go through your individual home. What are your needs? What time of day would be helpful? All of those different kinds of things. Having an HVAC contractor come and do a site visit at your home to determine what you would need to do. So those are all things that are part of the program. And then we'll begin installing hopefully in October and going through December as well. And so this is kind of the timeline we have for the program. And this is my favorite slide. Yay, savings. So a lot of the program components can save folks a lot of money, which we love. A lot of the products and installations can be anywhere between $7,000 to $20,000. Some of these technologies are pretty expensive, but we're able to cover it, which is wonderful. And it's including the electric panel upgrade, which can be up to $3,000 if you were to do that separately. So we'd be able to cover all of those costs. And on top of that, this technology is super efficient and really awesome for your home. So you could save up to 40 to 60% on your current heating costs, especially if your home runs on oil. This would be a great time to get a more efficient technology. You would be saving a lot on your monthly bills. And you would also be saving time. A lot of the work on picking contractors, filling out all the paperwork, that's on us, right? That's not on y'all. So we'd be saving that time with that technical support and case management. But yeah, this is my favorite slide. Yay. And additionally, if also for these technologies, there's tax credits for folks that have to pay taxes at the in April. I think it was just tax day, so maybe if you had to pay that, you probably remember. So the Department of the Treasury has tax credits on this technology, so you could save on your taxes as well. And there's also rebates coming through the Washington Department of Commerce from the Inflation Reduction Act. So these rebates aren't really in right now, but they'll be coming very, very soon. And so to kind of check out what this looks like, you can go on to this website called rewiringamerica.org. This nonprofit is one of our partners, and they have a calculator. So you can scroll down and put in all of your information. So you can add in your zip code, you can add in your income, how many folks live in your home, and you can calculate what kind of incentives are available to you. So these are the tax credits that are available right now. These are things that if you installed your heat pump in October, like you can totally get these savings on your taxes. If you look at it here, heat pump air conditioners last year, that's $2,000. Weatherization is about $1,200. So I mean, it's a pretty sizable tax credit. And these are rebates that are going to be coming later on. I know it says late 2023, but it's going to take longer than that, we're pretty sure. But these rebates are also coming, and they should be pretty cool. So in the future, if you do decide to do this upgrade for your home, these are definitely rebates that we could be eligible for. And then let me, okay, there we go. And the contact for this project is usually Amy Battle. She works for Spark Northwest, which is an awesome nonprofit if you ever want to get involved. And that is her phone number and email. And I'm sure she'd be more than happy to take anybody's questions and help folks navigate the program. And thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate it. And if anybody has any questions, now is the time to ask.
Thank you so much, Medha. There was a question that came in from Malik Baz. Would installations done in 2022 qualify?
Oh, so did the homeowner already do their installation for their home? I'm assuming
It does
that's the
sound like
case.
that.
Yeah, I think if you've already done the installation, Terry, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you would be able to get the cost coverage from King County. However, you probably would be eligible for some of those tax incentives if that applies to you. So I would probably direct you to check that Rewiring America calculator to see if you might be eligible for your taxes, hopefully. Yeah, I think that was probably where I would check first. But awesome. I'm really glad you've already done the installation. That's wonderful. And how is it convenient? Do you like the technology? And feel free to respond in the chat later as well. Yeah, I think from Nick Elliott. So this would be a supplement to the oil furnace I have now. That is correct. Yes. We're not replacing the oil furnace at this point. This would be a supplement in your home. So let's say you have an office space in your home and you would really like that space to have better heating and cooling because you spend all day there. That is where you can add that deckless heat pump to make sure that that space is fully covered. A lot of the times they do cover a lot more space than people expect them to. So you'll probably definitely be running your oil heating way less than you would otherwise. But yeah, great question.
Thank you. Let's see if there are any other questions that came in. All right. I'm not seeing any right now. Greg, please stop me if there are any more that came in.
I believe there was a website that you were going to put in the chat so I can.
Yes, I have a couple, so I'm gonna, yeah, I was gonna add those in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I guess the biggest takeaway is please come to the workshops in June. We'll have way more information and we can get people started on their applications and make your homes more comfortable. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for your time.
Thank you, Medha. That was great. All right, and we'll share out any information that you want to share with us. We can, get out to folks in the community. Okay, so we have a second main presentation, and that's Jordan Hoover. So, Jordan from King County Metro.
Hey everyone, I'm Jordan Hoover. I'm a community engagement planner at King County Metro. And hold on just one moment as I share my screen. I'm with King County Metro. You may know us as the people that run the bus. That's not all we do though. So King County Metro has a few different services besides fixed route buses. One of them is our new on-demand service, which is called Metro Flex. As you can see in this slide, we have a cartoon drawing of our vans, but you may have seen these vans driving around the Rainier Beach and Skyway areas, and maybe some other areas of King County as well. What is an on-demand service? An on-demand service is for Metro Flex. It's a service where you can call a van to you when you're in a defined service area and get a ride to wherever you're going within that service area for the same cost as a bus ride, $275. So I'm going to get into the background of, that's what an on-demand service is, but like, how did King County Metro get here? We have a list of flexible services where on-demand, Metro Flex, our on-demand service being one of them, as a part of our broad range of mobility services that we provide throughout King County. It's integrated in our policies and our long-range plan. And it's something that we're going to be continuing to implement throughout the King County region for a long time. And it's not anything that's going to be going away quickly. As we develop these on-demand services, we did it collaboratively with communities. We had info sessions. We took comments. We went through all kinds of feedback to get to this new on-demand service, Metro Flex, that was just launched last month. And our team is always working to create a robust and replicable partnerships with different areas and improving our planning practices to help create efficiencies. So in the Rainier Beach Skyway area, you probably, and throughout West Hill, you've probably seen these VIA vans over the last few years. VIA was one of our former on-demand services. And as of March 6th this year, just a little bit over a month ago, we brought all of our services, all of our on-demand services into one new service called Metro Flex. So that we had Community Ride over on the east side in Kirkland and Sammamish, and we had Ride Pingo in Kent, and in VIA, we had VIA in South Seattle, Rainier Beach, Renton, and Tukwila. And the reason why we did this is to help provide a better customer service and experience, to have one brand and not be having to be talking about all these different kinds of services in different areas, to create efficiencies, which really affect how well we can operate the service as well. And also as a response to some of the feedback that we got from riders. This is all as well to better integrate and connect people to bus and light rail networks, and even train networks for our service in Kent. So our service areas are currently in Juanita, the Juanita neighborhood of Kirkland, Sammamish, Kent, Othello, Rainier Beach, Skyway, Renton, the Renton Highlands, sorry, and Tequila. For y'all, the most pertinent one is going to be this Rainier Beach in Skyway service area. So here's a close-up. This blue polygon that I have up here on the map is the outline of the Rainier Beach Skyway service area, which also encapsulates the West Hill community. It runs Monday to Saturday, 5 a.m. to 1 a.m. And Sunday, 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. If that schedule looks familiar to you, you probably ride the light rail, because that is the exact same schedule as the light rail. The north boundary of this blue polygon is South Cloverdale Street, and the south boundary is Southwest Grady Way. And as you can see, it also borders Lake Washington and some of the Tequila area as well. The east and west boundaries, I didn't have streets for them because it is there's a lot of different streets that it borders and goes through, going east to west. So how Metroflex works is when you need a ride, let's say you need to get to work in the morning and you work, you don't need to you could go to the light rail, or if you're work in the Rainier Beach Skyway area and you live there as well, you could just go from your home directly to your workplace or the light rail or wherever you're going next. As you get ready, you're just going to want to request your ride. You cannot schedule rides. You can only request rides as you need them. So if you need a ride in, at 7:30, it'd be best to try to schedule your ride ahead of time at like 7:15 or something. Once you request your ride, you're gonna want to, or before you request your ride, you're going to want to have your start and your end location. And once you plug that in, it'll give you an estimated time, as well as possibly give you an option to catch a bus if the bus would be faster, and then it'll show you where your driver is, as well as give you that estimated time. It'll also show you where you're going to be picked up. Metroflex doesn't pick you up out front of your house or out front of wherever you get picked up. We run on a model called curb to curb, so you may have to walk like a block or two to get to your vehicle. Once the vehicle arrives, it usually takes about 15 minutes on average, especially in the Rainier Beach and Skyway area, for your vehicle to ride. It is a shared ride, so there may be other people in your ride with you. And if you have any kind of accessibility needs, you have the option in the app, or if you call in to request a ride, to get an accessible vehicle with a wheelchair accessible vehicle, or a vehicle with a bike rack if you're going with a bike. And also, if you call in, we have interpretive services available to help you coordinate your ride. The app is also available in multiple languages. And you're probably like, oh, this sounds like Uber, but Metro's doing it. Well, we have, the thing that we're trying to do is trying to get people where they're going the best we can, in an efficient manner. So we have that curb to curb model, but then the cost of this ride is only going to be the same fare as a bus. So, which is $2.75 for adults, and then, $1 if you have a senior Orca card. And then there's some various other prices depending on the kind of bus card that you have. The app is called Metroflex, just like the service. It's available in the Google Marketplace. It's available in the Apple Marketplace to download onto your phone. The vehicles are 7-passenger minivans. And, as I was saying, there's The model of the service is corner to corner, so there may be some light walking. If you have any kind of mobility needs, let's say you're an older adult and you can't walk as far as some other people can. There are options in the app to help you select that, any kind of mobility impairment that you may have, to get that ride brought closer to you. One of the things I did mention is this fixed route filtering, which is just a fancy way of saying, if a bus is going to serve your trip better, we're going to steer you to taking the bus. This screenshot of the app is what the fixed route filtering looks like. Let's say it looks in the screenshot, you're like a block away from a bus stop and a bus is coming soon. And it will steer you towards that if it gives you a much faster travel time to get where you're going. There's also a website booking available if you don't have a smartphone and you want to just get a ride out from your home, or if you need to set up a ride for like a teen or something. And the app is available in Spanish, traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, Somali, and Vietnamese. And one big thing is that there is no cash accepted on board. Metroflex does not accept cash. We don't want to put our drivers at risk of having a bunch of like loose cash, and it also just makes it the service operate a lot smoother to use Orca cards or to be able to pay in the app via a credit card or debit card or what have you. Another thing that's not on this slide is that anyone 13 and older can ride Metroflex by themselves. So if you have a high schooler or middle schooler that wants to get around in the Rainier Beach Skyway area, Metroflex is a great way to do that. It gets you from your neighborhood to their friend's neighborhood, the Skyway Library. You can get them to light rail. I wish that this is a service that I very much wish was around when I was a teenager. As I was saying earlier, there are some accessibility features that if you select them, you can get different kinds of vehicles. If you have a wheelchair need, you would need to go into the rider fare types of the app, the option of the app under the menu, and select wheelchair accessibility. And then there's also these other kind of impairments that will just slightly change your rider experience. This is some more screenshots of the app, but as a fun thing, because we have that web booking, I'm going to drop this slideshow and show you what it looks like. So the phone app looks very similar to this, but I have right now I have a random address selected in the West Hill area off of Renton Avenue, and this is my fake location. I don't reside here, but for the purpose of this little demo, I wanted to show y'all how it works. So let's say I live right here, and I want to get up to Kubota Gardens. I want to go on a nice, it's April, it's beautiful out. I want to go on a nice stroll. I'm going to I put in my location, and now I'm going to my destination. And then the app goes through its algorithms. It's finding a driver for me. And in a moment, it'll give me an ETA of what a pickup time is. And then I would accept it and get going. So yeah, it looks like there is 6 minutes away. There's a Metroflex van that can pick me up. The ride's only $275. I would just select book this ride, wait about 6 minutes, and after my trip to Kubota Gardens, I'm walking around in sunshine and greenery. Cool, and that's how the service works. And if y'all have any questions, I would love to answer them.
Thanks so much, Jordan. I jotted down 2 questions, and others can chime in as well. I know that the bus is free for kids under 18. Is Metro Flex free for kids under 18?
Yes. So all forms of public transportation are free for kids under 18, including now the Washington State Ferry. So MetroFlex is free for teens and kids. So if they are younger than 13, they do need to be accompanied by like an older like another like fellow teen, like an older teenager or a parent or something.
Great, thanks. And I think I know the answer to this now because you kind of explained how it works, but is it possible to ride between boundary areas like the Tukwila, the Skyway Rainier Beach area are practically connected? Can you ride between those areas?
So I am very glad that you asked. Rainier Beach and slash Skyway service area and Renton service area are very special. There are only service area that has overlap. Normally, you can only go within one service area. So if you're in this orange service area is Tukwila. You can only, if you're getting a ride in Tukwila, you can only travel within that service area of Tukwila. For the Rainier Beach Skyway area, there's this slight overlap with Renton where you can, you still are going from in this overlap area, which is around the Renton Transit Center. You can go from either from there to anywhere in the Rainier Beach Skyway area or anywhere in Renton. You unfortunately can't go from anywhere in Rainier Beach Skyway over directly into Renton, but what you can do is you can get into this overlap area, get out of your in the Renton downtown area, get out of your vehicle, and then request a ride right away. And you do have a chance of just getting right in the same vehicle. You may have to wait a few minutes though.
Okay, thanks. We'll see if there's any other questions that have come in. Okay, I don't see anything yet. And please feel free to share with us any other informational things that we can post or share out with community via our social media or other communication channels. All right. I just wanted to check to see if anyone's hopped on the call since we wrapped up our community reports. You wanted to share anything? Otherwise, I think we've reached the end of our agenda. And I just wanted to thank everyone who was able to take time to be here this evening, whether on Zoom or on Facebook or watching later. Thank you, Jordan, for dropping in your contact information. There's a lot of fun events coming up. April 29th, Skyway Park cleanup with West Hill Action Mob and the King County Park Stewardship team. We've got Olajuwon's Hands Community Family Reunion on the same day, April 29th from 12 to 7 p.m. I believe Detective Norris was talking about a car seat check event. There's just a lot going on. I don't even know that I can remember it all right now. I know in August we have the Health and Safety Fair, but we have a couple months until that. And I wanted to also let folks know that West Hill Community Association will be moving back to in-person quarterly meetings starting next quarterly meeting, which is in July. It will be hybrid, so folks can still join by Zoom if they need to do that. But we are excited to be back in community with all of you and to see you in person. And we are going to take the quarterly meeting around Skyway. So it will be hosted at a different school each time so that we can kind of travel around the community and be in different parts and hopefully be more accessible to new folks. So we are excited to work with, I guess, Randy Matheson. Oh, he's still here. We're excited to work with Randy Matheson. He's going to help us access schools for our quarterlies going forward. So thanks for that. And just another appreciation for all of you being here this evening. So with that, thank you, and I'll stop our live stream.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Medha.
Thanks, Finn.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Great
Bye,
work.
Jordan. Hi, Devin.
Night, Finn. Have a good evening.
Nice to meet you, Melissa. Bye-bye.
Good night.